A terrorist attack would most likely come from the sky, the sea, or from an explosive device, right? Maybe not. Have you ever considered that our food supply could be the next terrorist target? Imagine you purchase an orange at the grocery store, eat it, and become very sick. What you don't know is that weeks ago on a farm, a terrorist secretly sprayed your orange's grove with a toxic agent. The possibility of this so-called bioterrorism has Homeland Security officials on high alert.
Purposeful contamination of the food supply presents a fairly significant risk. As we've seen in recent times, just accidental or just natural contamination of the food supply can affect hundreds of people. Purposeful contamination could affect a similar number of people and have the same types of economic impact. The economic impact in California with spinach has been estimated anywhere between, say, 87 and maybe $200 million, with about $100 million of litigation still pending.
Terrorism isn't the only threat to our food supply. The recent E. coli spinach scare that sickened hundreds across the country is a real-life example of how easily microbial contamination can have a widespread impact.
The spinach outbreak in California is a classic example of a foodborne outbreak that happened recently, and a lot of people still remember it. It's fresh in their minds. It was a fresh-cut bagged product. It was produced in one central packing location and then shipped out all over the country. What ended up happening was the FoodNet surveillance system set up by CDC caught a couple of associated outbreaks and then started to piece together the puzzle and showed a very large outbreak was in progress. And this outbreak happened from, or cases were identified anywhere from all the way from Maine all the way back to California.
The key to minimizing foodborne illnesses is tracing the origin, and quickly. As the spinach incident proved, it's difficult to uncover the source of fresh produce.
Today's labeling systems are insufficient because the labels they apply on fruits have limited information on them. Most of the information that is used for traceability goes in the box. Fruit gets packed inside the box gets shipped to the supermarket. As the box arrives to the supermarket, it gets emptied onto the shelves, and this traceability is gone with the box. And therefore, if there's a problem with that piece of fruit, there will be no way of tracing it back to its origin.
While the threat of bioterrorism looms, better tracking systems will be essential for protecting our food supply.
There's a lot of work currently going on trying to improve the safety of fresh fruits and vegetables. There is work all over the country right now dealing with interventions, which is the removal of pathogens once they get on the produce themselves. There's also programs involved in the prevention of pathogens getting on the produce actually out in the field. Another area that we're focusing on is recall and traceback. A lot of times contamination can't be prevented altogether, so what we do is try to limit the amount of exposure to the consumer by getting the product off the shelf as fast as possible and containing it. And that way you limit the impact that the industry faces. As far as foodborne illnesses are concerned, there's nothing that can be done to prevent foodborne illnesses 100%. The ability to recall a product, get it off the shelf as fast as possible is paramount in limiting the effects of any outbreak.
Hurst Labeling Systems is on the forefront of developing new technology to enhance food safety. Hurst's new VersaPrint labeling system is changing the way produce is labeled, making it easier to track the origin of produce in the event of bioterrorism or contamination.
Hurst Labeling Systems, together with its technology partner FutureLogic, has brought together new technology to provide the future of labeling in the produce industry.
Unlike today's produce labeling methods, VersaPrint can give each individual fruit or vegetable a label with sufficient information to identify its origin back to the orchard. This print-on-demand technology tracks packing dates, lot numbers, specific orchards, or even sections of an orchard. It's extremely valuable information during an outbreak.
Fruit labeling is a very challenging operation. It is a process that is done at average speeds of 12 labels per second. On top of that complexity, we have added printing on the label immediately before it's applied. This means that in order to accomplish this task, we actually have to be printing at speeds of approximately 15 inches per second. This has never been done before until now with VersaPrint.
VersaPrint labels can include logos, barcodes, and alphanumeric characters labeling up to 12 pieces of fruit per second, a rate essential for efficiency at packing plants.
The reason we're interested in VersaPrint is because of our customers' requirements are getting to be very demanding on a barcode situation. They want a SKU number, which is a price lookup number, on their fruit, and they don't want to have their grocery stores to have to do that. They want it to be already on the fruit when it gets to them. So our customers are really jazzed about having this VersaPrint. Right at the present moment, we have to carry a large inventory of labels for our customers, different graphics on the labels and those kind of things, and different numbers, different requirements. With the VersaPrint, we wouldn't have to carry but one generic label, and we could put anything on that label that the customer required.
The mechanics behind VersaPrint will have a profound impact on labeling and food safety for years to come.
VersaPrint will transform the produce industry by providing producers, packers, and even retail with print on demand. This technology will increase the information that is currently placed on the label, such as commodity and size, by adding also source and origin where this produce comes from to increase its traceability.
What food safety is for the customer is being able to trace it all the way back from their direction back to us, and even farther past us, even to the grove. So with the VersaPrint, you'll be able to put that information on every piece of fruit, and then if there was a problem, a claim, something that was foreign on the fruit or whatever, you can be able to trace it back and find out what happened all the way to the grove. I think that this is the way of the future. I think everybody's going to want it. It's not just putting the information on the box anymore, it's more than that.
We believe that we have developed technology that addresses current and future needs such as food safety and traceability. VersaPrint will become the industry norm as it provides a solution to these needs. For the first time, produce labeling will become a tool not only to provide identification at the retail store by size and commodity type, but will also increase the accountability of the produce throughout the supply chain. It will provide a forensic tool to be used to trace back contaminated produce by any source.